Alright, Jen, so if this year isn't going the way you planned, if you already find yourself behind on where you wanted to be, well, the first thing you need to do is breathe and repeat after me. Everything is going to be okay, and you are not a failure or a disappointment. You're simply a man. You're simply a human being. And so many of us are going after things that not only are ambitious, but they require a bit of luck in our favor to actually come to fruition. So don't beat yourself up and don't define yourself by your past. Instead, let's move to the first actionable step, defining your vision. So if you don't know where you're going, you're going to wind up somewhere else. I always love this Yogi Berra quote because on the surface it seems kind of stupid, but when you get down into it and you understand the philosophical meaning, which I'm not sure he intended, it's really deep and I think defines a lot of us in today's busy world who are constantly moving to and from, but don't really know where we're going, and then we're surprised when we end up someplace we didn't intend. Or even worse, somewhere where we don't want to be. If you're at all familiar with orienteering, you know the importance of understanding where you're at, where you're going, and an azimuth. The word azimuth refers to the precise direction to a specific point. Without this information provided to you by a compass, it's very easy on your journey to get off track. Seriously, anyone that served in the military probably knew somebody who in land navigation had issues, being able to stay on track when they were going up and down hills or through a forest, or especially at night. I had one buddy going through ranger school and he almost failed out because he could barely find his way at night with a compass. My point here, for you to get on track this year, you need to re-look at the direction you're headed and make sure it's aligned with the vision you have for yourself. Now, for me as a visual guy, I have a vision board. I really like something like this. It's simple. You just print off pictures of where you want to be, what you want to achieve, things that you want to do. As you can see here, I've got some early images of my dream home. I've got pictures of the people that mean the most to me with messages from them. I printed off images of the countries I want to travel to in the next couple of years, and even what I want my ideal body to look like. And because I'm a little bit weird like this, I condensed it down actually into a single page, which I try to sign off on daily, affirming to myself that I am going to take one step in the direction of achieving my goals. And I'll admit, if you would have shown this stuff to me about 10 years ago, I would have said, that's a bunch of woo-woo stuff. Seriously, just go out there and do the work. 100% agree. Do the work. But make sure that you're taking time to evaluate, to think, to make sure that you are going in the right direction. People talk about this all the time, that they're climbing the ladder of success, and then they get to the top realizing they just climbed the wrong wall. Gents, straight up, this is work you have to do. Nobody can do it for you. But I'll tell you, once you do this, all of a sudden you're going to have things revealed to you, and you're going to realize, you're wasting a lot of time and energy doing work, running after things that don't really align with where you want to be or the man you want to become. And that may sound frightening to realize, but I'll tell you, it is a huge weight off your shoulders when you can look at that stuff you were doing and just throw it to the side and move on. The next action step, surround yourself with a winning team. Have you ever been on a team of winners? I have. I've also been on a team of losers. And the difference in culture, the difference in the way the people talked and communicated was night and day. When you're part of a winning team, there's a shared energy. People are excited, people are motivated, but not to win, to actually become better, to push themselves, to constantly improve, to be the best, and to leave their mark on history. I also find a healthy winning team, they really support each other. They're looking out for each other. They realize it's a team effort. So they're only as strong as their weakest link. Winning teams like that aren't passing blame. They're looking at, okay, where can we get stronger? How can we improve the area here? They're not throwing around blame. They're looking for ways to provide a solution. Winning teams are also accountable when they win and when they lose. In fact, I found the winners that I've surrounded myself with, whenever they fail, they actually look at this as a gift because they realize the pain of losing is one of the best direct feedback teachers you could ever get. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, hey, I don't have any say on my team at work. And that may be true, but you do have a choice on the people that you surround yourself with, the people you hang out with, the teams that you build up for your own company, the new friends that you make at conferences that can help lift you up. I know for me personally, I surround myself with other business owners that are doing really interesting things, not just making more money than me, but guys and gals that are crushing it in industries and in ways that I wouldn't have thought of, but they love sharing that information with me, and it gives me energy and ideas that I can use to grow my own business. The next actionable step to get this year back on track is think about what you're wanting to accomplish and get step-by-step instructions on how to do it, preferably from an expert or a coach that has done it before. I'll tell you, in my experience being an online entrepreneur, blogger, YouTuber, e-commerce owner. I didn't go to school for any of this. I have a degree in origins of behavior, which is a biology psychology mix. Yes, I have an MBA, but they only teach you like high-level stuff. No, everything I've learned in business pretty much is self-taught. These books behind me and courses I find online that have shown me how to make better videos, how to write better articles. And where I was still uncertain, I hired coaches that had done it before or were experts in their field and could in a short manner show me exactly what needs to happen. And again, gents, I'm not saying you got to go out there and even spend any money. Tons of free resources. But you do need to put in the time. You do need to put in the effort. And I find spending a little bit of money is a great way to have some skin in the game. But when you do that, when you get that direct help, all of a sudden you reduce overwhelm, you start to limit decision fatigue. And if it's a good program or an awesome coach, you'd be surprised what they can do to help accelerate your success. And that takes me to the next actionable step, accountability. So like I said, there are tons of free resources out there. And if you are very good at holding yourself accountable, then awesome, you can skip this step. But for the rest of us mere mortals, me included, I find that when I put a bit of money down, it's a great, hey, I got skin in the game. I am serious about this and I take action because I don't want to feel like an idiot having wasted this money. And that could be $20 for a book, $100 for an online course, maybe $500 for an interactive course, maybe a few $1,000s for a coach. And yes, I've spent that much money on coaches. In fact, I had one coach, it was $1,500 an hour. The reason I paid that kind of money is because this guy was in Silicon Valley. He had worked with billionaires. This guy was in his late 60s, 20 years ahead of me, and I wanted his perspective on certain problems and issues I was dealing with, not only in business, but just simply in life. Now, this guy's time was super valuable. He had already made his fortune, but the reason he was doing this, the reason he even charged what he did, was that he wanted the people he worked with to be not only at a certain level, but to bring their A game, not to waste his time, to do all the homework I needed to do before our meeting, and to show up and be fully present. Not answering emails or having my mind wander off. No, I was fully present because yeah, I'm paying $25 a minute. But again, I'm not even saying you got to spend $25 total. However, you need to respect the person that's holding you accountable. So if you can find that person in your church, at your gym, at your coffee shop, or in your social circles, wherever that person may be, make it happen. Because I'm telling you, when you've got accountability, magic happens. Now, this next one most guys don't do, and that is to celebrate. I get it because they say, oh, I'm going to celebrate when I reach the end goal. I mean, in theory, that sounds right, but don't do it that way because here's the thing, is that nothing gets you to actually take action than being able to see some progress. So celebrate progress. Measure the inputs and celebrate when you do the work. And let me make that distinction. Inputs versus outputs. Outputs are the results. Inputs are the work we do. You want to celebrate the inputs because you have full control of these. The outputs, there's a bit of luck. Sometimes there are factors outside of your control that do affect the outputs. And the reality is when you're going after your goals, you can do everything right, make all the right decisions, and still fail. Now, as Jean-Luc Picard said, that's life. And it's a great lesson and something you need to remember. And don't let it dissuade you from going after your goals and knowing that, yeah, you did the right thing. And that's why I'm saying it's important to celebrate the inputs because that helps condition you to love the process. And gents, when you learn to love the process, you learn to love the work. That's when you've really won because all of a sudden winning the prize, yeah, that's nice, but you're ready to keep going. And it's this detail that separates the boys and even the men from the legends, from those winners like Kobe Bryant. He talked about this. Never get bored with the basics. He loved putting in that work. He knew if he outworked his competition with his talent and abilities and teammates, there was no way he was going to lose. Now, the next actionable step, you need to review and adapt. Now, these sound like things that you could do yourself, and you can, but what separates the average from the high achievers is high achievers get other people to give them feedback. To help this make sense, think of yourself as a bottle. You are on the inside and you're trying to read what is on the outside. Very difficult, right, if you're on the inside of the bottle. Versus other people, we're not tied up inside your world. We can see things from an outside viewpoint and we can read and be able to give you that information pretty quick. Now, one of the reasons a lot of people don't do this is they don't want to share the information. They're sometimes worried about the truth that other people are going to give them and how it could conflict with the way they view themselves, their own worldviews. But here's the deal. If you want to level up, if you want to become your best self, look to those that have done it. The guys that have made that leap, they've become open to receiving receiving constructive criticism because they know who they are, they know what they stand for. At the same time, they do want to get better. And when constructive criticism is taken not as an affront, but as an opportunity to see what others see and possibly get better, well, gents, that's a powerful tool worth having. And gents, at this point, you got a choice. You can go watch another video on YouTube and do absolutely nothing, or you can go over to healthwealthpurpose.com and discover how you can take everything I just talked about in this video and actually put it into action. Gents, I created the program Health, Wealth, Purpose to be able to give you a place to be able to find like-minded warriors, men just like you, looking to take action to become the man they know themselves to be. As the name implies, we focus in on 3 areas: health, wealth, and purpose. And daily, we look to get 1% better, knowing that over time, this is going to compound and help you through small actions daily become a more successful man, a more resilient man, a wealthier man, a healthier man, a man who knows what his core values are and what he stands for. Our program is set up to last a year because we believe progress and improvement that really lasts happens step by step, day by day. And to make it happen, we help you create your vivid vision. We provide a supportive community with one-on-one accountability. We have a step-by-step action course. Gents, if you want to learn more, just go over to healthwealthpurpose.com. I will link to it down in the description. Or just click this hidden video right here where I go into more details about it, and I'll have a link over to it. But yeah, just go over to Health, Wealth, Purpose. It's the same video you will find right there on the website, and I just explain and go into more detail here. So go check it out. Boom, right there.